If your apartment has radiators, they should be kept clean since dirt and dust absorb heat. Radiators covers should be removed when radiators are in use because the covers absorb heat and block the flow of air through the radiator. Indoor air is up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Clogged furnace filters can cut operating efficiency by as much as 20%. They can even create catastrophic breakdown costing hundreds. Keep appliances in good working order. They will last longer, operate more efficiently, and use less energy. Be energy conscious when buying appliances. Compare energy use information and operating costs of similar models by the same and different manufacturers. An appliance with an initial lower cost may in the long run cost you more than an energy efficient model with a higher initial purchase cost. At least once a year, carefully clean the condenser coils of your refrigerator using either the crevice tool attachment of the vacuum cleaner or a long-handled brush. These coils are located either behind or beneath the refrigerator. The gasket is the strip of flexible plastic or rubber around your refrigerator door that seals the crack between the door and the cabinet when the door is closed. Dried food on this gasket can break the seal, so clean the gasket periodically to assure that the seal is airtight. A temperature of 38 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit is generally recommended for refrigerators and 0 degrees Fahrenheit for freezers. Follow the manufacturer's instructions, but check these settings by placing a thermometer in both sections. Keep your range top drip pans clean. Use the reflective, not enameled variety. They will reflect more heat to the pan. Use the right size pan for the burner. If your oven is self-cleaning, don't clean it very often. Turn the hot water temperature down. The temperature of your hot water straight out of the tank should not scald you or anyone else. 120 degrees is as hot as it needs to be for any task. If you have to compensate too hot of water with cold water, your thermostat is set too high. Use small appliances when you can. Making a big pot of soup or beans from dry in a crock pot instead of on an electric stove top saves electricity. Baking a few muffins, a loaf of bread in a toaster oven instead of in your oven big enough for 2 turkeys saves a lot also. If you have an energy efficient microwave, use it to heat single heatings. A microwave uses 75% less energy than a range oven. A poorly fitted apartment door will allow warm air to escape from an apartment during the winter months. Warm air can escape between the door frame and the wall. The air loss can be prevented by installing a door sweep on the bottom edge of your door. A no or low-cost alternative to a door sweep is a draft guard. This is a closed tube of cloth filled with sand which is laid against the bottom of your door. You can buy this product cheaply, but the no-cost way is to make yourself one with a 4 to 5 inch wide strip from an old sheet, dress, or shirt. The strip should be several inches longer than the gap it will plug. Sew the sides in one end together, then fill it with sand and sew it shut. In an overlighted area, remove one bulb in 3 and replace it with a burned out bulb for safety. Make sure that lamps are positioned so that the most efficient use can be made of their light. If you have a lamp by your reading chair or at your desk, you won't have to light up the whole room. Many decorative lampshades bottle up light or direct it where you don't need it. Light-colored translucent shades are the best for releasing light. Shades on reading lamps should direct most of the light downward. Remember to keep shades clean to let out more light. In a small jar, fill it with water, and then screw the lid on. Place it in the toilet tank. Now you will save that much water each time you flush. Use larger jars or bottles with older toilets and smaller ones with modern low-flow toilets. A 5-minute shower uses only about 1/2 as much water as a bath. Food retains cold better than air, so keep units as full as possible, but don't overcrowd so air can circulate freely. For the freezer compartment, stack items tightly. Add extra bags of ice if you don't have enough food package. Liquids should always be capped or covered in the refrigerator compartment. If they're not, they add to the humidity in the refrigerator, and the high humidity makes the compressor work longer. Covering also protects the flavor of foods and beverages. Loss of cold air is substantial every time you open your refrigerator and freezer door. So know what you want before you are at the door and it is open. Remove it quickly and shut the door. Arrange your refrigerator so things are easy to find and most frequently used items are also the most easily accessible. In the freezer, label items with freezer tape and magic marker for quick identification. Many refrigerators have a humidity or power saver switch. Its purpose is to control small electric heaters around the edge of the door that stop the door from sweating on humid days. At all other times, this heating serves no useful purpose. Keep it switched to the power saver or low humidity position for most of the time. Don't take meats or other large frozen items from the freezer and thaw them in the kitchen countertop. Instead, transfer them from the freezer to the refrigerator the day before they are to be used. The frozen items will keep the refrigerator cool as they defrost, cutting down on the energy the refrigerator uses. Allow items to cool. Allow hot items to cool to room temperature before putting them in the refrigerator or the freezer. Frost buildup increases the amount of energy needed to cool refrigerators and freezers, so defrost regularly. Never allow your freezer to build up frost more than 1/4 of an inch thick. Never boil water in an open pan. It will boil faster in a kettle or a covered pan. Boil only the amount of water you need. Use a steamer or pressure cooker if you have one. They only save energy but also preserve the nutritional value of the food. If you have a gas range, make sure the flame is blue and cone shaped by keeping the burner clean and unclogged. You can use a piece of wire or pipe cleaner to unclog burner ports. If cleaning doesn't help, call your apartment superintendent or appliance service representative. Use flat bottom pots and pans as they provide faster heat transfer. The pan or the pot should completely cover the burner or heating element. A small pan on a large burner wastes energy. Shiny pans and clean reflectors help focus heat. Turn off the range. If you use an electric range, turn off burner shortly before the recommended cooking time is completed. The heat retained in the element will finish the job. Plan to cook as many dishes together as possible. If one dish calls for 325, another for 350, and a third for 375, set the oven to 350. Cut a few minutes off of the temperature for the lower temperature dish and a few minutes off of the higher temperature dish. Preheat only when absolutely necessary, and don't preheat for dishes cooked for an hour or more. In any case, never preheat for more than 10 minutes. Every time you open the oven door, the oven loses about 20% of its heat, so don't keep opening the door to see if the dish is done. Follow the time in the recipe. Use thermometers and timers to avoid overcooking. Scrape, don't rinse. Instead of rinsing your dishes in hot water before loading them into the dishwasher, scrape them with a sponge or a spatula. Don't use the rinse hold setting on your washing machine. It uses 3 to 7 gallons of hot water each time you use it. Rinse your dishes in a dishpan or clean rinse water instead of under hot running water. When cooking or baking, double recipes and freeze half for future use. Use only as much detergent as recommended on the box. Excessive suds hamper effective washing and often require excessive rinsing. Pre-soak heavily soiled clothing or use the washing machine soak cycle to avoid second washes. Over-drying wastes energy, set wrinkles, and causes clothing to wear out more quickly. If your dryer has an automatic dry cycle, use it to prevent over-drying. The lint trap clean. Remove lint from the trap after each load. A dirty lint trap impedes the flow of air in the dryer, so it takes longer and uses more energy to dry your laundry. Generally, dryers should be vented to the outside to avoid putting excess moisture into your apartment. Separate loads into heavy and lightweight items since the lighter ones take less time to dry.